Water. Let's talk about water because it will freeze in the wintertime and your chickens aren't smart enough to peck and drink out of the water. Their little brains are about the size of a pea, so I wish they were smarter, but they aren't. So what I'll do is tell you that D&B has some wonderful water heaters here. And you can just simply purchase a water heater and run a line to it, or you can make your own. And I'll give you the rundown here. What I do is I put that water heater out there, right there, put straw around it so Hank, the Lockenvelder, can get into the water and everybody else can, right? And what you don't see is a bungee cord that is up here stabilizing the water, okay? So I run a bungee cord and just stabilize it. The thing about water is it is your chicken's most important nutrient. They can go without food, but they can't go without water, okay? So you want to make sure that they always have good, clean, not frozen water, okay? This is how you make your own water heater. We'd love to sell you a water heater, and we've got several kinds. I like this kind and this kind right over here. But if you want to go get some popcorn, eat all the popcorn, right? Yes, you have a question back there?
Explain the reason for the straw again, please.
Oh, the straw around the water heater elevates the chicken, actually. I could have dug a hole, but the ground was frozen at the time. And brought this down into the hole so that the smallest chicken could reach it while the other ones can. So what did I do? I had to build up the straw so Hank could get to it. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, so you get this, you eat the popcorn out of it, right? Make sure it's a big one like this because you have to be able to fit a light. And lucky for us, D&B has these, the trouble lights. Okay, you want to get a light and you'll put a brick inside that stabilizes it. It also warms with what you're going to do. I put in a 15-watt bulb. That's it, a 15-watt bulb, the kind that gets warm, right? And then cut a U right there. You set that in there, you turn it on. And I leave it on all cold season when we get down to freezing, right? Water hasn't frozen yet. I've been watching my girls and it hasn't frozen yet, but there you go. And then you run your line, plug it in, and put your water right on top of it. Does that work? So do you understand that? So, and if you don't want to do this at all, we'll sell you a water heater. Yes?
It says 40 watt.
Absolutely. I once upon a time I did a 40 watt and it just got too hot. Okay, and I want to say let's be conservative. 15. If it gets really cold, bump it up to 25.
Could you also do something similar to that for
Yeah, you could. It would give some ambient heat to the coop, but I'm really not a fan of heating coops. Your birds are all acclimating to the cold weather, and we see wild birds all the time, and they're just fine, right? They're fine in the wintertime, and in fact, the girls do better. They fare better in the wintertime than they do in the heat of our really hot summers. And so I would say, give it a go this winter. They get close in the coop, and they warm up together, and as long as you have a 2x4 that they can splay out their toes, and you watch their combs in the really cold temperatures, you're good. Yes?
A hen that decided to have babies like at the beginning of October. So I have a bunch of little chicks, and they're getting their feathers fast. And she sits. She seems to be a good mom. She sits on them. Will they survive?
They should. Yeah, nature knows what it's doing. Okay, I'm sorry. She said that she had a hen that had babies. What? The 1st of October? Oh, so yeah, they should be feathered out by now. They should be fine. They should be fine, yep. And I hope broody hens that there's a great smartphone app called Pick and Chicken, and it tells you all about the chickens that are available. I love it. It really is. I think it's like $2.99 or something like that. It was one of the best $2.99 I ever spent. big yellow birds. What did I call it? I told you that they were great backyard chickens. Buff Orpingtons. Yeah, I make my living with words, and sometimes the words just don't come. The Buff Orpingtons, great chickens, but they are broody. They want to hatch out eggs. Is yours a Buff? Okay, there you go. It's a Buff Orpington, right? Yes.
My ventilation is from the west. Is that okay?
The question was, my ventilation is from the west. Is that okay? Yes, absolutely. Any ventilation is fine. Just as long as you keep them out of the wind in the wintertime, okay? You don't want any wind getting into the coop. Okay, egg production. Let's talk about that. There is a debate with your chickens. Do I rest them and then let them lay a bunch of eggs for me in the spring season, or do I keep them laying all through the winter season? I wanted eggs all through the winter season. So I'm going to do what I can to keep them laying. But everybody has their own deal, right? So what you have to do to keep them laying is provide them with 14 to 16 hours of daylight. Okay, and right now we're not getting that. So if your girls are laying, they're superstars. Okay, so you're going to need to do something like this and have it on a timer and give them some extra time of daylight. So I have my light coming on at about 4 in the morning, and it goes off at about 9 a.m. And it's dark. I look out there and it looks like the girls are having a party, you know, because it's all lit up. If you do one of these with a bulb, make certain you crimp this, and there's no way a chicken can knock this off, right? My better choice for lighting a coop is this sort of thing right here. The rope light. We just took rope light and wound it around the coop a couple times. And my coop is smaller. You all might have wonderful coops that you can walk into and stand up. If I had it all to do over again, I would do that. But I don't have that kind of a coop. I have a smaller coop that we just wound some rope lighting, and it lights it up. And the girls are up and awake. You want them eating and drinking at that time. So make sure they have food and water available. Yes?
Is it better to light them then in the morning rather than extend their day at night?
Really good question. She wanted to know, do you light them in the morning or do you extend their day at night? I like to do it in the morning because they know the sun is going down, and you know the girls go back to the roost on their own, and they know it's getting dark, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're having a party, you know, inside. So let's do it in the morning. I think that's a better way. When I first started this, I said do a little in the morning and in the evening, but I like it in the morning best of all. Yes, sweetie?
Do you recommend fluorescent?
Fluorescent is just fine, as long as you provide light. That's what you need to do. You have to supplement the daylight that they're getting right now. And this is a great graphic. Here we are in November. That's the amount of light that they're missing out right there. And then it gets even longer in December, and then in January, and then back into May is when you can pull the light if you want eggs. Does all that make sense?
What wattage at that point are you using?
Well, with the rope lights, I'm not sure I know what the wattage is. You just have to light it, and that's the thing. My little rope light may not work in somebody's bigger coop, right? So so you have to get in there and throw some rope lights up and go, okay, this is good. Yeah. Yes, back there. Big voice.
Can you have them on all night?
Oh, really good question. No, give your girls some darkness. The girls in the factory farms, the ones who are always laying eggs, they have lights on all the time. And that's not good for a chicken's health. They need darkness. They need that rest. Okay, awesome question.